1 year after a mother of 3 was killed in a DUI crash, the driver, multi-millionaire real estate executive Scott Gragson, will learn his fate.
Right now, we're going to take you to a live look inside the courtroom where people are speaking at Gragson's sentencing. Gragson was addressing the court just a few minutes ago. We're going to take a listen.
To 2 to 5 years. The lawmakers obviously had the first offender with a sterling background in mind. We are asking for 3 times that amount, Your Honor. Joseph Scholl and his supervisor, Ladrell Branch, from the Nevada Department of Public Safety, Parole, and Probation, recommended a sentence 3 years to 10 years concurrent. These are the people entrusted by our system to provide an honest assessment to judges throughout our great state on what a fair sentence is in a case. They have the benefit of knowing what defendants have received for sentences in other cases, so that there is parity and fairness. They are professional people whose obligation is to serve as an adjunct to the court and to protect the people of Nevada. Their recommendation is well below the 6 to 15 years we seek. That is a crucial fact, Your Honor. Recently in State v. O'Neill, in another courtroom in this courthouse in a contested hearing that had the same negotiated parameters we had, a sentence of 8 to 20 was imposed. How is Scott's situation distinguishable and why is 6 to 15 appropriate? In that case, no restitution was paid. There was no exemplary pre-event conduct contrasted to Scott's whole life, no post-offense rehabilitation like Scott, and there were vociferous victim statements. Significantly, Your Honor, you have received letters from counsel for 3 of the 4 plaintiffs indicating to you that they would be satisfied as victims with Scott's 6 to 15-year sentence. Mr. Bentley has indicated the same. They didn't do that gratuitously. They did it because in their hearts they know Scott is overwhelmed with remorse and he arranged for a resolution of the civil case, and in good faith it is already funded. He did not put them through motion practice for a civil or criminal trial, and they know what Scott's life has been like up until now and what it's going to be in the future. When this started, there were rumblings on social media told to me, since I don't read social media, that Scott would escape prison. God has accepted the fact that he will be in prison, a place Scott Gragson did not ever think was in God's life plan for him. But he accepts it. But, Your Honor, a potential 15-year sentence at the high end and 6 at the low end is a significant punishment and a statement for the court to make for a 54-year-old man of his sterling character. Please honor the agreement. Please honor the victim's input. Please honor the heartfelt expressions of sincere citizens who have expressed their love and respect for Scott through letters and videos and their own words. You will do justice, Your Honor, with a sentence of 6 to 15 years. That is a long sentence. That's what the law allows, and that's what will bring this matter to a fair yet punitive conclusion. One last thought, Your Honor. We will now hear from the people affected by the accident. It will be emotional, and that is natural and appropriate. But please think of Mr. Gragson when listening, and remember that all emotion does not change that the requested sentence is part of a plea bargain, 3 times more than the statutory minimum, 2 times more than recommended by PNP, that Scott has taken full responsibility for his actions, that Scott has real empathy for the injured parties and their loved ones. The same empathy the victims have all shown him by stating they have no objection to the 6 to 15-year sentence being imposed by you. In fact, Mr. Bentley stated he supports the minimum sentence, and a 6 to 15 concurrent is a long sentence. Consistent with our state's adoption of Marcy's Law, please honor the victims who have agreed that are fine with a sentence to 6 to 15 years concurrent. Thank you very much, Your Honor, for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Schoenfeld.
You've been listening to people speaking on behalf of defendant Scott Gragson, who has been accused and pled guilty to 2 DUI-related charges. This is the sentencing phase of his trial, and local community leaders are speaking on his behalf for a more lenient sentence.
Yeah, so we want to give you a little bit more background on this case in case you're just tuning in right now. Prosecutors say Gragson was drunk and speeding before the crash in May of 2019, but more than 150 people, they were calling for Gragson to get a more lenient penalty, just like Dave mentioned. Now, excerpts from court documents, they were calling him compassionate, ethical, and charitable. pointing a lot to his charity work for kids fighting for cancer for about 2 decades there. Prosecutors say he had been drinking heavily at a charity golf tournament before driving those 4 other people into the Ridges neighborhood. They say Gragson became belligerent when security there turned him away and then sped away just before crashing his Range Rover nearby in the Summerlin area. Now, police say Gragson's blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit. Roughly hours after the crash, a mother there, Melissa Newton, and 3 other passengers were killed, and Gragson right now is not eligible for parole. So we'll continue to follow that for you live on air and also online.